My next question was about the treatments. So, talking about the main form of alopecia that you already mentioned, what kind of treatments are available, or what would you recommend?
Okay, well, I suppose if I start with the common things that I would see, so balding, male and female pattern hair loss. There are a few things that can be done from the medication point of view. So most people are aware that over the counter you can get some medication that you can put on the scalp called Regain, which is minoxidil. So that's seen as the very acceptable first line treatment. Now, unfortunately, not everybody responds to minoxidil. Apparently, only about 40% of people respond properly at about 6 months. So, it's good news if it works for you, but bad news if it doesn't. But the good news is that it can actually be genetically predicted how well you are likely to respond to Regain or minoxidil. So there's a fairly new DNA test that's been introduced to the UK last autumn called Trico test, and that helps to predict whether you are likely to respond to minoxidil. If you aren't likely to respond to minoxidil, it offers alternatives as topical medications, so medications that you put on your scalp. So these are usually things like finasteride or latanoprost, which typically haven't actually been used as a topical medication for hair. But again, as I say, genetics is an amazing thing, and for some people it can really help to prolong the growth phase of their hair. So that's sort of the main treatment for balding. There are other sort of treatments that can help to support hair growth. So things like platelet-rich plasma treatment. There is some evidence that can help for balding, the autoimmune condition alopecia areata, and also hair shedding, a condition called telogen effluvium. So essentially what that is blood is drawn from you, your own blood is taken, spun down in a centrifuge, the platelet-rich part is taken off, and which has got growth factors in, and it's re-injected into your scalp. So it's seen as a very safe procedure, and the effects are subtle, but I think if you want to put everything into it, if you're losing your hair that way, then it's definitely worth a try. There are other things like laser therapy, low-level light therapy they call it. So that can be in the form of combs or caps that you can buy. Some people come into the clinic to have a treatment alongside other medications as well. So there are a few things, and it's all tailored to the individual, because I've had very long conversations with people who've had a DNA test and it said, use this and use this. And then they've thought, oh no, actually I've had the test now. Now I know I'm not going to bother anymore. So, it varies from person to person. It looked at, you're investing in yourself, and and I say this having personally experienced hair loss, it's a massive thing. When you get to that point when you think, I haven't got any hair in this area, what am I going to do? Am I going to shave it off? Am I going to wear a wig? What am I going to do? And I think regardless of your age, your gender, your background, it's really important to get the right diagnosis at an early stage. Cosmetic ways of dealing with it. So I try and think of the fact that everybody needs different things. So for some people it's really important to find out what the reason is for the hair loss. For other people, they want a really simple solution. So I tell people about various forms of hair camouflage. So there's a few things that can be tried. There are sort of electrostatic fibers that can be used that are really great for covering up small patches. And they can be matched to the color of your hair. There are various crayons that can be used. You dip them in water and apply it to the areas. And it's amazing how the eye can be deceived that there is no hair loss when you've got the right products on. There are various thickening sprays that can be used. So I partnered up with a pharmacy, so I encourage people to just visit that pharmacy through my website to see what kinds of camouflage products they can use. For some types of hair loss, there are hair pieces that can be made, which is I think a lot of people don't know about this. You can actually get a mold made of your head, which, yes, I've got a mold of my other half in the clinic actually, but it's a plastic. It's essentially made of a disc, and it's an outline of your head, and before it sets, you can draw out a pattern of the area of hair loss, and you can actually get hair pieces created to fit on those areas, which again, it can be transformative, because if you're losing a large patch of hair, that really limits the styles that you can use, and I think these things can really transform people's confidence. Wigs that haven't got the right kind of internal construction of the cap, they can cause a lot of damage. So they can be constantly pulling on the hair edges, and that can cause traction alopecia as well. So make sure that when you're wearing the wig, at the very least, use a wig cap that's comfortable underneath, and it mustn't feel too tight or pull on the edges.
Another question from me. When you are wearing wigs, like if you glue the wig in here, can it create like some kind of traction alopecia?
So did you say glue?
Yeah, when you put the glue or tape, just right there, can that just affect the edges, or can you have like traction alopecia because of that? Especially if, I don't know, if it's a long wig and it's a bit heavy, does it have an effect?
Yes, definitely. Because again, it's just long-term pulling on those roots. It might not feel like much, but it's just there constantly causing pressure. So yes, the glues, they can cause damage, particularly also if it's removed as well without the right product. Maybe we could do this another time, but I've got some examples of what a good internal construction of a wig cap looks like, and it's amazing. There's quite a lot of thought that goes into the really good quality wigs. How are you going to wear your hair? Are you going to wear it back, wear it down? It will things like how the wig is knotted and parted, and things like, and various parts of the wig will all be considered in putting together that style.